So we start off in my heart center, and this is where I usually engage with the inner child. And as I went in, the inner child was kind of lifeless, and so I did some of the typical things I do, and the inner child just wasn't engaging. And so I pull down the kind of like the ether light into the center, and this is something I typically do. And as I did that, the inner child actually like hovered up towards the light, almost like it was being beamed up by this light. And so what I get from this is inner child usually connects to purpose and aligning kind of with that truest, deepest form of your purpose work, and making sure you're aligned to like the joy in life and living that out. And so then moving through here, basically go into the sacred space of the heart and engage with the energy. And as I pull down the different colored energy, I take it really deep into my body, which hasn't happened before. Like I actually I feel like I'm moving down into this space, and I'm pulling this energy really, really deep into my body. So I feel like a big alignment is happening with this energy. And so after this, I get propelled out to the Rainbow Road, and as I'm on the Rainbow Road, I get golden kind of dust particles that are in a circular pattern around my feet. And so gold to me, and especially like that, is like crown chakra. And so since it was down at my root chakra, I kind of ran through a few scenarios, and the one thing that it seemed was right was root to crown. And so what I call all the work I do is chakras root to crown. And so when I think of crown energy pooled at the feet, I feel like divine purpose or divine something is trying to manifest into the physical world. And for whatever reason, I didn't see any channel, any connection. So for whatever reason, maybe this divine purpose doesn't have a channel to manifest into the physical world. And so that's kind of where that visual kind of took me. And then from there, I see you looking into a standing mirror, and your body in this world, or what you were using to look into the mirror, was regular figure. And then when you looked into the mirror, I saw you pregnant. And so pregnant, if you're not looking to have a child or birth in a child into this world, pregnancy typically symbolizes the birthing of new ideas. And so pulling back to like the inner child and the lifeless kind of inner child I encountered, I feel like maybe there's a big idea, or there's something big, there's something like soul destiny, like maybe you feel what this dream is, you have this understanding of maybe what you feel you should be doing, or what feels most correct to you, but for whatever reason it's not manifesting into your world. Or maybe you have this really big idea, like new business or new something. It's this huge big idea, right? That's you can see and you feel, but it's not here in this physical world. And so I see you reach through the mirror, and as you move through this mirror, I actually see you as this woman with like gray sweatpants on, a gray headband. You're like sweating and super stressed, and I see like 1,000 babies around you crying. And so I get that if this idea were to come into this world right now, or be with you at this moment in time, this is the state it would bring you into. So I feel like the energy isn't right for this at this moment in time, and I feel like that if it were to happen right now, that you would like short circuit, or you'd just be overwhelmed. It felt like that was a very overwhelming situation to see like 100 babies crying, and you just like not knowing what to do. So I feel like maybe the potential of this project, or how big this project is, or maybe it's the scope of it is overwhelming, like you don't know where to start. So that could be two areas in which this is directing. So flash forward to the next visual, you actually, from here, you like slide down a little kid's slide, and you're on a swing set. And so you're on this swing, and I'm like getting the visual of being on the swing. And when you are rising and you get closer to the sky, the blue sky, and then you fall, and you kind of get sucked away. And so I'm feeling this swinging motion, and I'm watching the sky. And so I put myself there as a child, and that freedom you felt when you would just swing. You'd get on a swing and you felt like nothing was around you, and you were like this bird soaring through the air. And so that's the feeling that I get that's attached to this project. It's that this is gonna bring you your freedom. This is gonna give you that feeling of, unattachment, and like basically this is your kind of like your hopes and dreams. It's like this, whatever this is that's you're trying to manifest right now, it feels like this in your eyes, or this feeling is just attached to complete freedom, and it's going to open you up to this feeling, right? So then moving from here, the next visual, it's this big fort, and I feel like this is now going into your Akashic records, and it looks like this big fort, and it's like if you go back to, like, I don't know if it's in like Civil War movies or something, where one camp would be behind a wall, and it's like these trees basically cut down and sawed off into stakes on one end, and it's like a big square, and it's a fort. It's all these like tree trunks that are lined up with the big pointy ends like pointing towards the sky. And so as you move through the doors, I feel like there's an inner ring to this fort, and there's people kind of on guard, like soldiers on guard. And as soon as you move into the walls and the inner walls, you're spotted, and people are screaming, "Intruder, intruder!" And so you are like running, and you're running for your life, and you're running, and then it kind of turns into a game, and it's like a game of capture the flag. And so you move from this like outer ring to this inner ring, and you're like battling up to get to this blue flag that's on top of the hill. And as soon as you reach for the flag and grab it, you like sink down the mound of hill that the flag was mounted in, sinks down, and now you're in this just flat ground. And it was just like so much work to try and get to this this inner flag. And so if we're in your Akashic records, and this kind of symbolizes all the wisdom that you have access to and everything, it feels like again, it's like maybe this idea, or this concept, this big thing you're trying to manifest into the world right now. I don't know if somebody's blocking you from it, because I get, we're being screamed at, "Intruder, intruder." So I don't know if there's somebody that's blocking you from it, or if there's some kind of internal mental situation going on where you feel like this is somebody else's idea, or something like you're taking from somebody else, or what it is. But it's like this, you're working to try and get to this inner flag that represents like the final point. And as soon as you get there, it's like you're just exasperated, you're done. It's like I'm given everything I've got to get into this, or to get to this. So from there, as everything flattens out, then the walls that were these trees become like a wrestling match, like the ropes on the outside of a wrestling ring, and I start seeing you bounce from corner to corner. So you're, and I get this like tug of war, and so but there's no opponent. So I don't know if this is something you're struggling with again in your own mental center, but it's almost like you're at war in some way. It's like competition, and kind of like bouncing back and forth from the one corner to the other corner, and your opponent should be in the other corner, but there's no opponent there. So I don't know, back to the intruder, I don't know if there is somebody you maybe are working with, or something that you feel insufficient working with, but then we flash forward to this, and there's really nobody there holding you back. It's just kind of yourself in a way, is what I'm getting from this. And so from there, then your Akashic records kind of turn to what I perceive as a normal Akashic records with the library look, and your higher self. I call your higher self down, and your higher self comes down, and I ask what's for the greatest good for this person to know at this moment in time. And your higher self basically says that you're so focused on manifesting this right now, like you're very much so in alignment with this project, right? But it's not in your life right now, and it's not manifesting into your life right now, but you're very much so in alignment with this idea. And what happens is, so they say like time and space, right, is just a creation of our three-dimensional world, that once you get above three-dimensional kind of existence, that there's no such thing as time. So there's no past, there's no future, it's just the present moment, and we're living out all these different timelines, right? So what they say is we get these impulses, and we get ideas that are resonant, that are here to make us remember things so that we can align ourselves and bring these projects into our life. But what happens is sometimes we see that end goal so clearly that we lose track of what's happening in the present moment. And so your goal is to stay very present, because the more you focus on this end goal, the more you're going to miss the signs and the connections that are going to link you in the present moment to take you into being able to manifest that end goal. And so I was actually told that I was given so I was told three things. There's like three lessons, there's three things that you have to accomplish in the present moment before you can get to this end goal of, this birthing of this new idea into the physical world and manifesting it into your world. And I was given a timeline too of 4 years. So I don't know if it feels like something really big is coming, but it's almost like you're so focused on that end result that you're not aligning the things in the present moment to get you step by step to that end goal. And so that's was the main focus. And so to basically see and feel into the present moment, to look for those connections, and you don't even have to look for them. Basically, they're going to happen as long as you're present and you're living kind of day by day. Then these things are going to start to align and get you almost like stepping stones to that end goal. So that was the message from the higher self, to be more present. So with light and love.